What up, y'all? It's your boy, the one and only A Switch, aka um get the cup with the water, but instead you don't get the water, you get the Sprite, cause it look clear. Aka who put the peanut butter in my basket? Jesus. Aka my pants too tight. Why are my pants too tight? All right, let me stop fooling. Let me stop it. Coming from the radio, from the from outer space and beyond. Yeah. I gotta use that more. But nevertheless, yes, another episode of Switches Sights. Man, a lot of popped off last week. I'm just saying, it's just the unbelievable happened. Like hell is freezing over type stuff. Like freaking Steve Urkel and Lisa getting together type stuff. Freaking, I don't know, man. It's like the impossible was the possible. You know, it's like dreams came true this week, partially last week. But enough of the dilly dallying. We gonna get into it. So, in particular, with man, probably the biggest news. Yeah, I'd say definitely by a mile. Biggest news that happened this week is wow, I'm just amazed. I could cry right now. Microsoft and Sony settling aside their differences and are coming together. Not really actually, but somewhat of a pseudo relationship. So basically this was roughly around a week ago, but the CEO of Microsoft, I believe is Satya Netanyahu. I'm probably butchering that. Let me not be unenlightened. Satya Nadella. That's close enough. And the Sony CEO Kenichiro Yoshida. This should be like history. They got a picture of them. They shaking hands. They so happy. They're like, man, it's been a long time since we got to touch each other. Wait a minute, hold up, let's rewind that. But yeah, no, this is this sets an interesting precedent for the future of, I guess, well, for sure, console gaming as a whole. Cause like, I think for sure what this means. Well, before we get into that, let me fully dissect the details. But with this partnership, basically, it's some pseudo contract, but not really a contract, but like a written agreement. But basically along the lines that like, we gonna team up in we gonna team up in out of Google ass. I'm sorry, I had to put one extra in there because I didn't catch myself. But nonetheless, so specifically they're partnering up for kind of trading each other's benefits in respect to their gaming platforms. So Sony has PS Now, which I believe used to be Gaikai, as a gaming streaming service that Sony acquired like some years ago. And it's okay. I mean, game streaming in general is just that it's that whole caveat of just lag that, you know, it's noticeable for me when I tried it. But mind you, this was years ago. Maybe stuff could have been improved, but I never had the desire to give it another chance because, like, why would you want to stream something when you can just play it physically and have way more graphical fidelity? I don't know. That just never really registered with me. I get the concept though. But yeah, so with that, and then of course, Microsoft's um, streaming platform xCloud that they're working on, but it hasn't been, you know, I guess kind of out in the masses as of yet, in terms of gaming specifically, like streaming or whatnot. But yeah, this is probably a pretty, honestly, a good partnership, if any, considering the dynamics that, you know, they're gonna have to team up and fight with Google with their Stadia platform. So, you know, they was like, hey, nigga, we gotta team up. These they not playing, so we can't get stomped by them fools. Can't get stomped by them. We gotta combine our powers. So it's like if Vegeta and Goku, you know, merged and fought what's his name? Damn it. Damn it, I knew it. Not Vegito. That's Vegeta and no. What is it, Broly? There we go. Why did I have that moment? I don't know. But nonetheless, you know. Yeah, it's interesting, man. It's just weird. Microsoft and Sony of all people. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've been pretty respectful competitors or rivals against each other. But it's just weird. It's like Sega and Nintendo teaming up, which, you know, is that whole period of, you know, Sonic exclusively showing on Nintendo's platforms and, you know, Smash and stuff. But it's like, it's weird. That's the best way to describe it. But I like it though. It's great. You know, me being a multi-platform gamer myself, you know, I have mutual love for Xbox and PS4 and of course Switch, you know. So I mean, it's interesting. And I don't know, I think we forget that technically they have been somewhat in a relationship unintentionally, since, you know, Microsoft, that used to have the old HD DVD platform, they got their ass stomped by Sony's Blu-ray you know, platform or software, if you will, or um media format. It just got stomped. So obviously Microsoft was like, all right, Sony, you got us, you beat our ass, so let's team up. We'll use your you know, media platform for our you know, our platform as a, you know, media source going forward. So I mean, so technically I think like for every console Microsoft makes, Sony still technically makes money based off of using their proprietary Blu-ray format. So it's like, that's one thing I think a lot of people may have lost sight of, is that technically they've kind of unintentionally been working with each other in a sense, which I don't think in any means, you know, kind of brought things here. But yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense when you think about it, you know, having them both, you know, probably I'd say the biggest pillars in terms of console gaming specifically. Yeah, man, it's weird. It's so weird, but I do definitely love the precedent that this is going to set for cross network play. I feel like it's like a given that this is not, this has to be you know, a good sign that cross play, you know, in terms of playing, somebody playing on Xbox playing with somebody on the PS4 over, you know, a multi-platform game, will be actually feasible, even though it technically is feasible. It's just that, you know, Sony for the most part doesn't want to play nice or want to cooperate, at least at the time, with a couple of games I know, like Rocket League, Fortnite, Those are actually the only ones I think aren't. I think technically Wargroove, a Advanced Wars clone. That's all I can think of that comes to my head. I'm pretty sure there's probably a few more, but um, it's obvious and apparent that the network and framework is there. It's just a matter of them, flipping a switch. Like, okay, yeah, we'll play with them since way back Fortnite had that oops and accidentally quotation marks enabled cross network or cross platform play with other respective consoles. But it is such a beautiful thing, and it's the stupidest, like just stupid. It really is. It's like, people invested to get the console, so I don't see what's wrong with playing against other consoles as long as you have a console, legitimate console. I could see the angle, like, well, all my friends are on PS4, so I guess I have to get a PS4 so to drive sales for another console. But I don't really think it drives purchases that much. I guess to some extent, it depends on how much you want it, but I don't know. I mean, of all people to make those demands, it would be Sony to be like, well, we have our own little platform. We're not gonna let you play with the other people. But if the foundation is there, let it be there. That's all I'm saying. But I digress. That is definitely just a great initial step to what may be like a weird future where we could possibly have a PS4 box, a Xbox 4 station, place soft Xbone 4 station 5 6. I don't know. It's some gold in there. Just gotta dig it up. Just gotta scrape all the dust off. That's all. But yeah, man, I'm sorry. It feels so pivotal because it's like, considering the news and various articles and stuff that you never think that Sony and Microsoft would legitimately be partnering up for something in particular, which in this case is a platform. And even with that being said, with this platform, specifically for cloud gaming, man, that does actually set a lot of other precedences, using Microsoft's proprietary, arguably better, online gaming platform with Xbox Live over PS4, using their architecture for online games, and obviously with the cloud gaming and stuff like that, maybe they could share a platform where they put both of their games on it. That would seriously compete with Google Stadia by a lot. So man, the possibilities are endless with what this kind of the example this kind of sets, and I'm very fascinated to see what happens. Maybe we get some surprise announcement like, you know what, man, this just came in my head right now. What if Sony chose to not, host or come to E3 technically or officially to legitimately partner with Microsoft? Mind blown. Oh my god. It's the best. It's the best thing ever. Yeah. That was necessary. I justified it. But that's a serious ass pipe dream. But one can dream, right? If we're not dreaming, then what we doing? Having nightmares. Think about it. But yeah, all in all, I love that. This is probably one of my favorite stories out of this whole week. So I I hope some really good stuff comes of it. I really do. I really do. Moving on. Next story. Somewhat recently, popular Twitch streamer Tfue, I hope I pronounced that correctly. The contract with the FaZe clan ripped them signs up. I don't know if it's some crooked letter F or you put the two fingers up. Probably two fingers up with the one finger down. That looks close to an F, kinda. So basically, at least what's been ruffling is that this Twitch streamer who was formerly with the FaZe clan competitively playing games more along the lines of, you know, Call of Duty and stuff like that, apparently disclosed some very dirty details of a contract with the FaZe clan that I think is still technically live, that seems to have some outrageous kind of agreements, such as like 80-20% cut in benefit of the FaZe clan in terms of like tournament wins, promotional deals, and pretty much everything along those lines. YouTube, I think YouTube ad revenue, YouTube and Twitch ad revenue. That's crazy, man. It is interesting now that we're in this generation where we're getting to these dynamics where, you know, high prolific gamers that are, you know, widely shown and, you know, I guess just displayed in the gaming space, or, you know, just actually general media space, really. I do find it fascinating. So, but basically it's, you know, it's like a he said, she said type deal, which I'm not going to try to go into too much of those details in terms of this, but I just think it's kind of interesting that, like, you know, these dynamics are starting to happen now, considering, you know, how actually, no, I think it's like more of a sign that esports are coming to be a much more respected and you know, pivotal platform to, you know, be almost compete with you know, sports in general. So I think that's the biggest thing I like about this, is that, you know, it is starting to solve some real problems that haven't been addressed or even acknowledged, that you know, ideally is gonna iron itself out for the next person. So that is my piece on that. But yeah, I don't want to get too much in those dynamics, but I guess a little bit on that. The FaZe clan leader, I forgot his name, who basically headed the clan and pretty much started the whole clan to begin with, and he's kind of like the head honcho in terms of whatever thinks about it. So Ricky Banks is the head honcho of FaZe clan that, you know, is saying his piece about the whole thing, how he feels betrayed by Tfue about, you know, putting him on blast with all this, with the contracts and stuff like that. But I don't know, man, it's a little iffy. But I guess the claim that he had is that they actually weren't going into they actually weren't acting upon the agreements that were had. So for the tournament winnings, that they supposedly didn't claim any of his tournament winnings, or I think the only thing they did was of a sponsorship where they took a cut of it, not as much as they stated in the contract though. But it's still a little weird that, you know, mutually he would legally have to abide by that. So if they wanted to, which is just not a good look, at least, you know, at the surface, not knowing basically all those details. So, but yeah, very interesting, I'm just saying. So moving on from that, which is kind of roughly somewhat related, Call of Duty. So of course, with the well, I don't know. Is Call of Duty is successful? The last one, Black Ops 4, not as probably successful as they want. I think it is kind of on its way down. You know, with each successive release of Call of Duty, I think it um does go down with each subsequent release in terms of just reception. But I thoroughly enjoy Black Ops 4. Play it every now and then. It's pretty fun. I actually like the multiplayer more than Blackout, but that's, I think, me in general in terms of the battle royale stuff. I don't know. It's just very, not to go on a tangent, but it's a very discouraging. It just depends. It's so luck based, I feel like, that like when the odds aren't really in your favor, they're not in your favor. It's probably the best way to describe it. It's not, doesn't feel fair, but you know, that's kind of subjective. Sometimes my mindset changes about it. I'm like, oh, let me try some more matches. I can win, but then I get my ass stomped, and then I just give up. I give it up. But I digress. Going back to topic. So the 2020 game for Call of Duty is reportedly now going to be Black Ops 5 due to a kerfuffle between the proposed or most likely developer, because basically it was it's a release schedule. Well, obviously Call of Duty releases every year. Amongst a 3-year cycle between the 3 developers. So I forgot the exact order, but I know at least there's Infinity Ward, which is releasing their next Call of Duty title this year, which I believe is what is it? A Black Ops 4, not Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare 4, which I am very interested to see. And I think it's also, I believe it's somewhat rumored that the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 remake, at least the campaign, is going to be released too. I really hope the multiplayer does, but I don't know. It's that multiplayer is so much of perfection that I don't think with netcode and the changes like that, I don't think it's going to be the same, and I'm just going to by default maybe not like it, but I'll still at least play it. Like Modern Warfare, that campaign, or I mean multiplayer, I played the remastered multiplayer, I played a fair amount. So I mean, who knows, just try it at least, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so it was Infinity Ward, I believe, yeah, so technically it'd be Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer / Raven, I believe, and then Activision. No, not Activision. What am I saying? Treyarch. So Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer / Raven. I think Raven helps out with a lot of other folks too, in terms of specifically the multiplayer aspect. So I believe they kind of dabble and help with everybody in terms of Infinity Ward and Treyarch as well, on top of maybe exclusively working with Sledgehammer the most, possibly, but hard to say in that respect. But yeah, so apparently there's been some sparks sparks that were flying between Sledgehammer and Raven games in terms of that. So I guess they basically have been working closely, with this next title. I guess that was supposedly supposed to be set in the Cold War, which I would have been down for that. That would have been an interesting setting to kind of mess with, which I don't think the Call of Duty series has actually really messed with that much. Maybe possibly slightly a little bit with the original Black Ops, but it would have been a very interesting game to kind of deviate from the norm that is Call of Duty, considering this how much you can deviate from a Call of Duty game. But so yeah, I guess apparently they have some beef, according to Kotaku. So they were supposedly leading development for the 2020 Call of Duty Call of Duty D. Goodness. But I don't know. I think somebody, I'm just saying right now, I know it for a fact. Somebody dropped a peanut butter sandwich, and then Raven was like, "Hey, who dropped my goddamn peanut butter sandwich? Who gon' get these hands?" Sledgehammer like, I mean, I'm right here. We in the same building, so I don't know what you want some? Do you want it? Do you want it? That's what I thought. And then a fight break out. Somebody threw a chair randomly, and now we got the story that we have today that now they're not even gonna make the game. Probably didn't even start on the game. It just started with that one day, and then it just went all downhill from there. But on a serious note, yeah, it's that's interesting to see what happened. I think supposedly the head of Sledgehammer left recently too, which probably might have been indicative of something that was going down there. But I don't know. Signs seem to slightly maybe possibly be pointing towards Sledgehammer being the problem child. It seems. I'm guessing. I think maybe Raven is still around. It's hard to say, but let's see. So according to Jason Schreier of Kotaku, sources briefed on the overhaul while Treyarch to take over the leadership role. Raven and Sledgehammer will act as supporting studios. Oh wow, so I guess Sledgehammer is still in it. I didn't know that. I thought they were totally axed. Interesting. But yeah, that does put a lot of heat on Activision. So now instead of their traditional 3-year cycle, they only have 2 years. So that's a lot of heat. That's a lot of heat to kind of work with. Pressure is on. But I guess technically Raven and Sledgehammer will be helping, so that may be kind of alleviate the blows a little bit, but I don't know. I don't see that happening, having a canceled project to help out somebody else do a project that you guys had your heart set on with the Cold War setting. I'm pretty sure there was some beef about that, like, we want to do this for Cold War. No, I want to do this. Well, you're ugly. And then, whole hilarious fight ensues or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I definitely would have liked to see a Cold War based Call of Duty, but at the same time, I mean, Black Ops 5 would be interesting too. Well, if they have the campaign, if it's gonna be another Black Ops 4 with no solidified or actual campaign, then I don't know. I may have preferred Cold War based one, but I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of sad. I know definitely that's a big hit to Sledgehammer and Raven about it, but yeah, apparently they had a beef, but I'm pretty sure it had to been some dynamics they were trying to plan out with the Cold War theme. Maybe some big bold direction they wanted to take, but then either or side was not having it, and then what happened. So interesting. That's a first, because normally it seemed like Call of Duty's been like just churning them out like a well-oiled machine, but well, looks like that machine is getting a little rusty. getting a little rusty. But I don't know. I hope all turns out well. I don't know. Feels like all eyes are gonna be on Treyarch in that sense with Black Ops 5, how they're gonna do it, but we'll see. I'm hopeful at the least. So interesting stuff. Man, what crazy stuff happened this week. Piggybacking on that topic, goodness, just some juicy deets. Man, you cannot write this up. Well, I guess you obviously can, but I digress. So, George R.R. Martin. Why did I pronounce it like that? George R.R. Martin. George R.R. Martin is supposedly working on a game with Dark Souls creator Hideki Kamiya, I believe. I just totally went on like I hip fired that. If I got that right, I'm golden. I forgot his name. I think Hideki Tamiaki. That's not right at all. That's not right at all. Thought I had it here. Let's do some fact checking real quick, just to be safe. George R. R. Martin, Dark Souls. I feel like it's Hideki Kami. Hideki Kami. What is it? Not Liam. I know it. Hold on. Just wait a moment. Hideki Miyazaki. I think I got it right. Okay, just had to be sure. Can't mess up the dude's name like that. But yeah, so supposedly George R. R. Martin. Why do I keep doing that? And Hideki are making some game. So I mean, that's very interesting because when you think about it, you know, for those that don't know, Hideki, let me make sure I'm looking at the name because I keep not saying it right. Hideki, Hideki, Hidetaka, Hideki. I'm pretty sure Hideki. Miyazaki. I'm going Miyazaki for sure. So, I mean, considering the one thing that Dark Souls, you know, previous games or related games, even Sekiro to an extent, have been lacking is a story, or you know, a fully fleshed out story, and not a story that you have to like, a la Destiny, try to read up and you know, like read a book in addition to the find out the story. Like you playing the actual game, but you gotta read a book to actually understand what's going on in the story. But if you know, considering Miyazaki's moniker in terms of his history with the Souls games, this could be at least on the surface a good recipe for a pretty great game, I'd say. Having a great, you know, story beats that not reading his books, just off the kind of ecosphere that George R. R. Martin is known for. It seems like you know, it's making up for a great possible game. And I guess the rumor is that it's going to be supposedly announced at Microsoft E3 press conference. So this would have been a good one. This would have been a nice surprise, but you know, people want to steal stuff, but you know, hey, it is what it is. I mean, the news is news either way, you know. But yeah, I'm just curious. I can only think of Dark Souls, you know, with you know, George R. R. Martin's background. It just seems like it's a given. It seems like. But apparently it was a blog post by George R. R. Martin following the series finale of Game of Thrones that he did hint at him making a helping or a consultant on a video game. So he said, consultant on a video game out of Japan. But yeah, they said the details aren't too specific. A source from Gamematsu. But yeah, that From Software is working on an unannounced title with Martin, known internally as GR. I want to think it was maybe Dark Souls 4, but I don't know. It seems like Miyazaki is pretty much done with Dark Souls as a whole, so I doubt it's that. But who knows? We could be surprised by it, but maybe it could be a Game of Thrones um game, outside of the Telltale series. That would be, I think, pretty likely. Maybe like a Game of Thrones game with, Dark Souls elements. It's not too, I guess, crazy to think of, but it would make sense considering um we would be going off of Game of Thrones' finale, you know, to kind of go into that, like going off the somewhat, well, I'll go into that a bit later in the podcast of that finale. But if anything, I mean, people would technically be yammering for something, and I could definitely see this game kind of scratching that itch. Probably would come out in the fall, but get people hyped up and excited that are maybe coincidentally gamers and Game of Thrones fans. But that is interesting. It's hard to see what two kind of, like, at least at the surface, seemingly unlikely people to be collaborating to actually collaborate. It's pretty fascinating. Yeah. The possibilities are endless, but I can at least narrow things down that it has to be in a traditional fantasy setting and has a pretty narrative hook compared to the previous Soulsborne games. Even including Sekiro, I don't really feel like the story was that like elaborate in Sekiro. As like I guess it seemed like it was hyped up to be, or not necessarily hyped up to be, but like kind of put in a frame to be. So yeah, this is interesting. Very interesting. Wow. And I guess apparently the source from Gamasu explains that the game has been in development for 3 years already. And is an open world game with horse riding. So, but actually that kind of cuts out a lot of other possibilities then. So yeah, it definitely could still be for sure in a fantasy setting. So I think it's maybe almost a given that it might be in a fantasy setting to some extent with horses. I mean, horses aren't in any. Actually, no. Horses are in a lot of generations, even like the feudal era. Yeah, that does not really narrow down as many options as I thought. Yeah, the spectrum is still somewhat open in that regard, but phew, man, a collaboration between Miyazaki and George R.R. Martin. That's very interesting. It really is. Goodness. Yeah, it's very unlikely. It just seems like. But I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible. But yeah, I'm definitely more interested to see what this actually is before, like, getting hyped up about it. But man, 3 years already in the making. So it seems like some foundation has already been established. So George R. R. Martin Consulting. I don't know, man. That just all signs are pointing to Dark Souls 4. To be honest, I don't think maybe Demon Souls 2, but I think that's in some licensing conundrum with PlayStation, unless they could go exclusive to the PlayStation or the next console, PlayStation 5 or whatever. Yeah, it's a lot of possibilities, but I don't know. I'm tempering my expectations until I find out more. More obviously at E3, and then at least going by these rumors. So. Interesting. Very fascinating. So next on the gamut, I guess somewhat kind of segue in. Speaking of PlayStation exclusive stuff, there has been some news spread in terms of I believe a developers conference, or like a private developers conference showing the beefiness that is going to be PS5. So in a video by Takashi Mochizuki, there was a video showing the performance of a PS4 Pro versus the next gen PlayStation. So the PS4 Pro, I believe the baseline game is Spider-Man, I want to say. And for the PS4 Pro, they showed some examples of loading times one by one or next to each other. And for the PS4 Pro, loading a stage or world, at least in their example, it was 8 seconds. And then oh my God, they showed the PS4, they showed the PS4 5. Not physically, I'm hyping it up more than it is, but for the PS4 5, this thing loaded in mother 8, not even a fraction of not even a second, a millisecond, like 0.83 milliseconds. Goodness. That is so great. Oh my God. I think a note though is that this is for a PS4 game that obviously is going to be backwards compatible in the PS5, so we don't really know if that's going to be the same deal with PS5 native PS5 games, which I'm guessing it's not. But I mean, for a lot of people, including myself, that do have a hefty PS4 backlog, this is pretty interesting either way. That's a lot of seconds out of life that are not going to go wasted. We're actually going to go more towards playing the games, and that's great, isn't it? Isn't it, robot? It is great. Oh my God, it is so great. We live in the world that is 2055. All your base are belong to us. Pop, lock, and drop it. Yeah. Ugh, I don't know what that was. Just some random robot came in my room. Don't even know it. It's the world we live in. iRobot 2 coming to theaters in 2088. Wait on it. Okay, I'm having too much fun with that. It's great though. My God, it's great. It's great. It is great. It's great. Yeah. It's so good. It's so great. It's lovely. Oh my God. Okay. But yeah, no, very interesting stuff. So if anything, I mean, you know, if there's any guess that the PS5 will be more beefier than the PS4, I mean, this is a good indication. You know, I don't think a lot of people were hoping it wasn't gonna be as good as the PS4, but this is a pretty good indication. So I like it. I like it a lot. But yeah, other than that, nothing really notable outside of that. Other than, oh yeah, one other note I think they disclosed is that the PS4 is fucking, whoop, my bad. I'm gonna beep in advance for that. The PS4 is selling 100, almost 100 million units. Probably might have hit that milestone by now, but Jesus. I think that puts it at the greatest selling. No, I think it's getting up there with the Wii, the original Wii, I want to say. I think it's close, but it hasn't hit that milestone yet. But good God, that is impressive. That's really impressive. It did all the right things, to be honest. I mean, I'm not surprised at the same time, but that is good stuff. Good news either way. So. Nice. Piggybacking on that, actually. And all these like go together. It's like I intentionally like plan this or something. I don't know. God of War sold 10 million units. Good God. Sorry, that was necessary. But man, that is impressive. I think that puts it along the line of other successful original exclusive PS4 games with Horizon Zero Dawn, The Last of Us, Uncharted 4. Maybe not The Last of Us. I'm pretty sure. Oh no. The Last of Us, the original PS3 version didn't get that high, but the PS4 remaster did break that. Good to know. So it's basically on the 10 million sold club. 10 million, excuse me, PlayStation 4 or PlayStation exclusive game sold club, which is great, isn't it? Sony making the moves. Kind of makes me feel bad about Microsoft, to be honest. It's Microsoft. They going to the gym. They getting buff. They training. Okay. Don't give up. Don't give up. All right. Don't give up. Okay. Don't. All right. But yeah, man, this game definitely deserves it. It's a great one-time game, I'd say. I don't know. It's like maybe I just felt so fulfilled by playing it the first time. It's like, you know what? I don't really need to play it again. But I may. I know that it's just gonna come. Probably definitely before the most likely God of War 2 comes out. I'll probably get that itch, and that it's been enough space in between to play it. And it's crazy. It's been like a year, well, a little over a year now since I played it or it came out, which is kind of surreal. It doesn't even feel that long. Goodness. What is the world coming to? I don't know. But man. That's a monumental achievement. So bravo, God of War. You deserve it. Boy, you deserve it. Corey Barlog, if you listening, you know, if Christopher Judge don't want to work for y'all anymore, I mean, I'm willing to step in. I mean, just let me know, okay? You got my contact info. I know it, Corey. Stop playing. Stop playing, Corey. Don't play with me like that. I've been calling you so many times. I've been calling you every day. You don't pick up. What up with that, man? Don't play with my heart. Don't you play with my don't you dare. Okay. Good news overall. Happy for them. Oh yeah, also, if you haven't checked out that sweet ass documentary they got on their official PlayStation page, I believe it's called Raising Kratos. I think it's Raising Kratos, where it basically just shows the whole development process for God of War in terms of its, you know, initial planning stages all the way to its, you know, deep development, and then actually announcing the game and releasing it and all of that. And then, you know, it kind of led to that monumental pivotal moment with Corey Barlog, you know, breaking down after seeing the reviews after all that, all those blood, sweat, and tears going to making the game. And man, when you see the whole documentary, it just puts everything in perspective. Like that video that, you know, Corey Barlog showed of him, you know, crying, showing real emotion for all that work he put into the game. It's like it paid off, but you throughout that documentary, you definitely see the trials and tribulations that kind of go into that. So very, very fascinating stuff. I always find those documentaries interesting. Another one, since we're on the topic real quick, is what is it called? It's the For Honor one that's on Netflix, and the name does not come into me. What is it called? Let me look that up. I feel like that's important. For Honor Netflix documentary. That's what I'm looking for. is it called? Playing Hard. Playing Hard, which is weird. You think they would try to, tie it more into the game title, so it kind of makes it easier for search engine optimization. But I digress. I don't know. Maybe they just want one of those things that just are mysteriously around, and then you play it, and it's like, oh, I didn't know this was that, or something. I don't know. But yeah, those are some two great documentaries that I've taken privy to in terms of game development, because I've always been fascinated and interested at one point in trying to mess with game development, but the uncertainty and like insecurity it feels, depending on the company, of course, but even then still, but I don't know. Then it's just the passion thing that like to play the games actually more than I like to make them. I don't know, but nonetheless, some great documentaries that are just very just great. I thoroughly enjoyed both, so I definitely recommend you check them out. Again, Corey Barlog and the whole team at Santa Monica, a development process for God of War remake or reboot, on YouTube, on the PlayStation website or PlayStation channel, and Playing Hard, the documentary for not God of War. It's funny, they're kind of somewhat in the same vein, kind of, about For Honor, the development process of the renowned game fighting. I don't even know how to use third person action fighting game. That's probably the best way to describe it, even though it doesn't really feel right saying that. But yeah, on Netflix for Playing Hard, the For Honor documentary. You guys might have seen it by now, but it's great. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, so moving on to that, man, that pretty much covers our main topics for this period or week. So I guess we'll go into kind of somewhat semi off topic stuff. So I guess the biggest other thing that happened this week is good golly almighty, Game of Thrones season finale. The truncated season, that's what I like to call this season of Game of Thrones, the truncated season, because everything just felt so rushed and unnatural and just unprogressive, but man, so before I get into it, Game of Thrones spoilers. If you haven't watched or care about Game of Thrones, spoilers coming. Man, I can't even, I don't know where to start with Game of Thrones, man. I think just this whole season kind of jaded me to Game of Thrones in terms of just the whole, man, just like, I don't know, just like this episode, this finale just makes me think about just all the bad choices that were made in the earlier seasons that just don't really add up or just don't make sense at all. Like, I guess the biggest one that comes to mind is Daenerys turn to the dark side, if you will. It didn't feel natural. It just felt forced. Like she wouldn't actually make that decision. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. So yeah, I guess to kind of maybe, hit some bullet points within the finale. So, you have the aftermath of the events of the previous episode where Daenerys just body up with the damn fire. She like, Drogon, you gonna heat these niggas up. You gonna heat these niggas up, Drogon. I don't give a damn. give a damn what you say. And burnt everybody to a damn crisp. Everything was just so graphic. You didn't even see her the rest of the episode after she turned. Goodness. But so yeah, it was the aftermath of that. And then there was some kind of you know, a little bit of conflict between John and Grey Worm, because Grey Worm was about to cut this dude's neck that already surrendered. John was like, hey, we don't do that around here. We noblemen. All right. Grey Worm was like, the f you say? What? We don't do that around here, homie. We don't do that around here, cuz. All right. So you gonna need to mosey your ass around the way, talk to your little aunt girlfriend that you want to have incestual nasty relations with, and get from around here, because you're gonna need to get up on my face with that disrespect, bruh. So that's exactly what they said. I said it word by word, dialogue by dialogue. You're welcome. You don't even need to see the premiere. I saved you like $15 subscription for HBO Go or HBO Now. You're welcome. All right. Feel free to put that in my Patreon. Patreon.com/HeySwitch. Shameless plug. Okay. But nonetheless, yeah. Yeah, it's I just don't know what to start. I'm just like speechless when I think about it. I don't know, man. I just don't know. But I mean, it was okay. I mean, when it got toward the end, in terms of just the finale, it was okay in a lot of aspects, but I'm still thinking about that. But okay, so let me go back to kind of like some other high points. So pretty much you see Daenerys like getting very evil and, you know, getting corrupted, and, you know, we all know that she gonna have to go. I think we all knew it right after she got off that dragon and she started chanting that stuff like, my Dothraki niggas, y'all gonna fight for your girl, all right? Y'all gonna kill these niggas for me, okay? Kill them, cause I'm the queen. We gonna rule it all. So that's exactly what she said as well. Game of Thrones, they've been getting really risky with their writing, because they having white people say the N-word, and this is a little weird. But I digress. So with that, yeah, man. So it did have the really cool shot with the dragon behind her with the wings, like, you know, evoking that she's a dragon. Oh my god. Oh, she a dragon. Oh my god. I mean, not really a dragon, but a dragon at her heart. So and that felt so rushed too. So basically, after Tyrion was talking to Jon about, hey Jon, you know you're gonna have to kill Daenerys, right? You're gonna have to cut her. You're gonna have to cut her ass. I'm just gonna tell you right now, bruh. All right, you're gonna have to cut the out of her ass. And I don't mean in the, you know, the way you've been doing. I don't mean in the way you've been cutting. Okay, all right. I'm just saying, Jon, take care of your girl. Take care of your girl, Jon. All right, stop playing. So Jon listens, and, you know, he ultimately kills the Daenerys. It just felt rushed. It felt rushed. I don't know. Felt like they could have dwelled more time on it, but that's kind of my opinion about this whole season in general. This easily could have been put into 2 seasons for it to be more coherent and make more sense in terms of like the characters' motives and stuff. But I don't know, man. But yeah, so she got killed. Then Drogon came out of nowhere, you know, looking like a Dark Souls boss. The one scene you see it out, that meme is funny, showing that. But so basically Drogon came like, hey, oh, you caught me sleeping, nigga. All right, go see her. I'm gonna go back to sleep. So he goes and, you know, talks to Daenerys, and that's when, you know, they talk like, oh, I love you. Daenerys, I love you. You my queen. You're my queen. You're my queen. Then they kiss, and I was like, oh boy, John's about that ancestral life. You want that on? You want that on, booty? Oh man, I can't, I can't. But yeah, so as he's doing that and kissing her, he just like, I'm gonna stab your ass. Gotcha. So, Daenerys bleeding out her mouth and shit. Let me bleeping out her mouth, and then she's dead. And you know, she died. Like, okay, I guess. Then Drogon came out of nowhere from based off instinct, like, who the hell killed my mom? All right, somebody gonna have to pay. I'm about to burn the out of you, Jon. Okay, you about to get crispy right now. I hope you ready. You like yourself well done. And then, you know, he was like, psych, I'm just gonna burn this throne because this is what's probably caused all this turmoil for everybody anyway. It wasn't you, Jon. It was her. I know deep down in your heart, you're not like that, Jon. So I'm not sure how that was interpreted, but I guess because he's a Targaryen, that's my guess, because he's clearly a Targaryen, that, you know, he's of the same bloodline, that he wouldn't want to kill the remaining person of the bloodline. So I guess I don't it just could have been more drawn out in a sensical way, you know. That's just my gripe with that. Then after that, what else happened? Skipping ahead of that, I think Jon was arrested or held in captivity for killing the queen. Even though he could have just said, I didn't kill the queen, she just killed herself, she was done with the world, but I guess they wouldn't believe that, but whatever. So there's a scene with the round table, or I guess I'm just paraphrasing the round table, where pretty much I'm guessing all of the remaining people of the remaining territories have all meet to try to come to a mutual agreement of who should be now appointed king, considering that Daenerys has been murdered or killed. So I guess apparently because Jon killed the queen, that he can't be a king now, or nobody, or the Unsullied don't want him as a king. So like, okay, but I mean, the ends justify the means, but whatever. So long story short, ultimately Bran is found to be the appointed, or you know, mutually agreed upon king. And he's like, this was my destiny. I've seen this before, so I already knew. Y'all just had to figure it out yourselves. I'm like, okay. All right, Bran. You need to put your dick away, okay? Put your penis away. All right, trying to wag it around. All right. That's kind of a record, because I forgot he's a paraplegic, so he can't. Yeah, he can't really. I forgot they did acknowledge that too. Like, you can't have a kid. You don't got no. You don't got no. So how the heck you gonna be a king? I'm like, that's, first of all, Sansa, you out of pocket for that. Yeah. Okay, you clearly out of pocket for that. I need you to sit your I want to be the queen at all cost ass down. Okay, you need to chill. You need to sip out that water bottle that was next to what's his name. Calm your ass down, cause you tripping. Okay, calm yourself. So I guess ultimately Sansa made the damn not even agreement, but demand that she still be the queen of the north. Like, okay, you know, Bran's like, oh, okay, I guess, whatever. And pretty much all the events come after that. Everybody kind of comes to a resolution. John actually was freed, but he's condemned somewhat, quote, to be of the Night Watch again, or I think the King of the Night Watch, I want to say. Then everything else after that pretty much ends pretty conclusively, in terms of, you know, Bran's introduction of being a king and everybody, in terms of, you know, his lineage of, I don't know, kingatry. I don't know the terminology for that, but you get it. And then that was it. I mean, towards the end, it felt somewhat fulfilling. You know, after technically 8 years of you know, missing out. I forgot to say, John finally petted his damn wolf. I forgot the politically correct name, but nonetheless, it's like, okay, there you go, John, finally. It's like, you could have did that in other episodes, but okay. But I mean, yeah, it's hard. I think, yeah, after some time goes by, we might reflect on it and then be like, you know what, I guess this was okay. I think this is maybe one of those finales that, you know, we're obviously clouded by our judgment of, you know, wanting a series to still continue to some extent, and even though I guess technically with the spinoffs, but yeah, I don't know, man. Just initially, it could have felt more right, but it's like, I don't know, what way would this have felt right in terms of a conclusive like season, or, you know, a bookend to this whole series, you know? It's like, what like finale literally ended that well? I guess Breaking Bad did, I felt, ended pretty satisfyingly. I can't think of any other ones, but then again, I don't watch that much TV, so maybe I'm not the best critic of that, but I don't know. For someone that watched all the seasons, I never watched it when it initially came out. I caught up, like, I want to say like around 2015-ish, but yeah, man, I don't know, man. Yeah, I just need some more time, but just initially, it just overall felt rushed. Just could have made more sense. And I think what's the sad part is that, like, HBO's like, I mean, you sure you don't want to do another season? We'll pay for it gladly, happily. Yes, yeah, we will. Come on. And then I guess the writer was like, no, we good after the season. But I don't know. That's my thought on Game of Thrones that season. That's my thoughts. In other forms of media, so one of my favorite artists, I'd say, Tyler the Creator, came out with his album Igor. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I've been a big fan of Tyler the Creator. I like his beats. So if y'all know me, I am a lover of beats. Okay, I'm a lover of them beats. I love them beats, you know. So normally for a song to get my attention, normally if it has a good beat to it, I'll start rocking with it, and then like the lyrics will start getting to me. Then I'll, you know, completely be in love with the song. But unfortunately, I don't know. With this album, it did not wow me as much as I was anticipating it to, because I was like, oh man, Tyler the Creator, man, I'm about to like every damn track on this album, and I only liked like about 2 that I would happily play consistently. But it's like he clearly is changing up his style. He's doing more of the slow songs. For this specific album, he's doing more of a slow song vibe, kind of like somewhat relative to R&B, which I'm not really a fan of in terms of that genre. I'm more of the hip hop rap, maybe a little bit. Actually, no, I ain't gonna lie, techno, video game tracks and stuff like that. But it was not my cup of tea. It had some songs that appealed to my fandom of his older personas, if you will, in terms of his kind of the cadence of his albums and stuff. But I felt I was kind of slightly disappointed, but don't get me wrong, I like Tyler the Creator as an artist. It's just obviously, and I don't blame them, artists definitely want to deviate and do other things. That's what being an artist is about, doing different things, experimenting, finding your artistic style, or expressing yourself how you want, which I totally get. But yeah, for this album, I only like two tracks. I think New Magic Wand and I forgot the other song. Let me see, I got it. I think I got it. What is it? I know I got it. What's Good? So New Magic Wand was good. I could play those relentlessly. They're really good. It's funny, and it's funny what was getting me like really hyped, because I'm like, oh damn, like all these trailers he was pulling out for a song on his YouTube channel. I was like, oh damn, this is that hot goodness. I'm hyped. I can't wait. And then I listened to the album, and it's just like all these slow songs. So it's like, darn it. Wanna be amazed, but no offense to the slow R&B people or slow song people. It's just not my cup of tea. I want that high tempo beats and hardcore rap from the borough, son. That is my attempt at doing a New York accent, and I failed horribly, and I'll accept that. So outside of Tyler, while I was listening up on Tyler, I realized that Logic released an album like the previous week that I didn't know about. I was kind of mad about that. I was like, I should have known. But so basically, Logic's new album, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, I've been listening to. Man, it's like the total opposite of Tyler's album, where I thought it's like I probably gonna maybe like a couple songs, that's it. But like for good amount of the album, I really liked. I could really mess with. And he had like a lot of the features was really dope. The one song with Eminem was pretty tight. The one song with Will Smith was pretty tight. I think that's the first time Will Smith is cussed on a musical album or a musical track. Maybe outside of his son, probably. I don't know. I thought that was interesting though. Either way. But yeah, man. It seemed like every album with Logic, I've been at least liking 4 songs out of his albums, but this one definitely is a banger. I could listen probably to this whole album, which is very rare for me of all people. I like to, at least my musical taste is, I generally like to pick some tracks from an album that I like, and then move on to another album, pick some tracks that I really like, and keep it moving from there. I don't rarely listen to a whole album uninterrupted, which I feel this is actually one of those. Probably the one before this one would be Stankonia from Outkast. That's one I could definitely listen through the whole album without skipping. But it's very, very, very few and far between. So, but out of that, just been catching up on some artists I haven't been messing with. Playboi Carti, I've been kind of digging his album. His latest one, was like a year ago. I've been catching up on him. 2 Chainz, his latest album that came out maybe a month or 2 ago. I've been just caught up to. Not as much as, kind of roughly in the same ballpark as Tyler's latest album, but nonetheless, it's a banger either way, But yeah, man, outside of that, let's see, gaming wise, what have I been up to? Da 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 da. Trying to think. Of course, been playing a lot of For Honor. Been playing a lot of Gears of War 4 because the hype has got me up, and I got the freaking Superstar Marcus skin, Marcus Cole skin. So I'm like, oh, I'm reinvested, baby, because that has been my main driving force to play the game and hopefully get the skin for Marcus. And I finally was able to buy it. Got the Superstar Cole. Or no, I totally mixed up the characters. I meant Augustus Cole. Superstar Cole skin. So that got me kind of amped, got me reinvested in the game. Then on top of that, of course, been playing a lot of Halo Master Chief Collection. Man, what a turnaround for that game. I mean, I even still stuck with it when it had its rough edges with the long matchmaking times, but man, that game has made such a huge improvement over what it was previously, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it so much. Then excuse me, outside of that, Halo 5, been playing a fair amount. Love the Fiesta mode in that game. You got so many different items and weapons to kind of choose from and randomly get. It's kind of made it pretty interesting to kind of mess with and dabble with in that respect too. So man, all in all, it's been a great time to be a gamer, man. I just gotta say that. I mean, I probably say that every time, but I mean, now it means more than anything. Probably not, but you know, it's a great time. It's a really great time. But yeah, other than that, guys, that's pretty much what I've been up to. Oh man, I almost forgot. Resident Evil 4, the Switch collection. That is what I've been messing with recently, the other day. Such a missed opportunity, man. Such a missed opportunity. Could have had used gyro controls, like make it adjacent to the Wii version. Could have had official GameCube controller support to kind of bring those nostalgia vibes for the GameCube version. So many missed opportunities. Then when you play the game, the frame rate definitely hitches. Even though it does go 60, I'm speaking specifically for Resident Evil 4. I haven't played 0 and 1 yet on the Switch. I plan to get that at some point, but it's not urgent for me considering the high price tag for these games. So for Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1, and Resident Evil 4, each game is $30. That is stupid. For generally what, like 14-year-old games? That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Even longer for like 0 and 1. That is outrageous. And considering you don't get even the additional benefits of it, like at least with the Switch versions, you can get the, you know, Wii motion control support. For Resident Evil 4, you can aim with the controller, which was dope. Made it pretty much almost the best addition off that alone. Just having that free aim ability, but man, horrible. They need to cut those prices soon or add the features, which even still is a lot for the asking price, compared especially to like the PS4 and Xbox One versions, where they're like roughly maybe $15 to $20 in that range. But I don't know what they're doing out there. Capcom, you're at the top. You starting to slip right now. I'm just saying. You did good with Resident Evil 2 remake, Devil May Cry 5, announcing Iceborne. You doing good, sweetie. But I don't know. This $30 game mess that because it's on a Nintendo platform, you got some standard to uphold or something. I don't know. And on top of that, they're not even physical games. They're not even physical releases. These are all strictly digital. I think Resident Evil 1, it just comes with Resident Evil 1, and I think 0 you have to download, or the other way around. But still, that is dumb. Why can't you have a physical version of Resident Evil 4? It's so great. I don't know. But nonetheless, I mean, it's Resident Evil on the Switch. So I mean, My sucker ass got it, but I'm not happy about it. I'm not. I bought it, but I'm not happy. I could be happier. Annoyed. But nonetheless, guys, that is gonna do it for episode 6 of Switch's Sights. Again, you can catch me on Twitch TV/aswitch. You can also catch me on youtube.com/aswitch. You can also catch me on Patreon, patreon.com/aswitch. You can also check these podcasts and future content that I plan to create at some point on my website, which is aswitch.net. Making these moves, I'm trying to. It's hard. I don't got as much time as I like to, spend time and do all that. But yeah, keep on the lookout. I have been dormant lately, but I'm trying to make that comeback, like Rocky when he got his ass beat by Ivan Drago. I guess I haven't seen Rocky fully, so I can't even say. I'm guessing. I'm pretty sure I'm right though. Get him. Other than that, guys, thanks for listening, and as always,